In today's tutorial, I'll just be going over how I'm setting up my own environment to code. So basically, I'll be downloading some applications and some files that I'll be using throughout the whole course. So I just want to do all that now. So during the whole course, we won't have to start downloading and by that time, or if we have issues, we're able to have fixed them before that time. So first of all, the first thing I'm going to be downloading is VS Code, which is my editor of choice. There's so many editors out there. So basically, what an editor is an application that helps us to write code easily, and it has some other cool tools that come with it. So you can just search on Google for VS Code, and that is definitely the first result that should pop up. So Visual Studio Code, that's what it means. And so once this loads, you can actually just download for whatever machine you're using. So I'm using Windows 10, and I can choose to download the 64-bit or the 32-bit. So but I'm just going to be using the 64-bit, but I already have it on my system, so there's no need to download. But if you would want to, you can also just click on download and install it yourself. It's simple to install and straightforward. So after installing your editor, I use different browsers. So it's advisable, if you're a web developer, you should have different browsers. You should test your websites on different browsers. But my main browser of choice is Chrome, but currently I'm using Edge, so I'll be able to show you when I'm installing my extensions, because I already have them on Chrome. So in case you have any issues, we'll be able to sort all that issues out here. So this is Microsoft's new Edge browser, which is also based on Chrome. So it's like Chrome, but it's Microsoft's version of it, and it's a bit faster. It loads faster actually. I noticed that it had some other cool features that the normal Chrome doesn't have. So that's one of the reasons I like it. And it's Microsoft, so, and I love Microsoft a lot. So one of the reasons I use the Edge browser. So I picked Edge browser as my browser of choice, and you can use Chrome. I have, if you look down here, I have Chrome, I have Edge, I have Brave, and I have Firefox. Before I had two other ones. I think I had Opera GX browser and one other browser. I can't just remember the name right now, but I use this to test my websites. So in case some things work on Edge and they don't work on Chrome, so I'll be able to fix them, because things like that happen from time to time. Okay, so after installing your browser, we would need a version control system. I will still be talking more on what version control is, but for now, let's just do the installation and forget about that. So we have Git. We'll be using a version control called Git. Oh, sorry, I wrote GUI. So Git. So it's the first result. So git.scm.com. I'll be putting all the links for this download in the description of the video. So in case you have any issues, you can just go straight there to download them, so instead of stressing yourself. So I don't know why that's not loading. So let me just create a new tab and do it again. So click. Okay. So let me just copy this link and paste. Okay. Something is wrong with my network, I guess. Nothing wrong with network. None of this. Okay, I got the error fixed. So back to it. So just click on Git, and down here you have download for Windows, and that's it. Just download and install, straightforward. Then okay, let's pause on the download part for a bit, and we have to create an account for from a particular website that we would use a lot. So version control is basically a way to track your files. Sure, and we use Git to do that, but most of the time we have to host our files online, so we use GitHub for that, and we're going to be using GitHub a lot throughout the whole program. So be used for developers. GitHub is a development platform inspired by the way you work. From open source to business, you can host and review code, manage projects, and build software alongside 50 million developers. So over 50 million developers use GitHub. So you can just easily create your own account here, but I already have an account, so you can just sign in. And so I have that is one and sorry. Okay, so it wants to verify, but there's no need for that. I also enable two-factor authentication, but what's the whole goal here is just to create an account on GitHub, and there's another account we need to create. So that's for Google Classroom, because we'll be submitting our assignments using Google Classroom. So for Google Classroom, I have just search for Google Classroom, and it has an Android app. So for GitHub also, there's an Android app for GitHub, but advisably create your account first on your browser. So, but I have subscribed for some, like there's some courses I'm taking online. So my normal school course, Yaba Tech, and some other courses I've taken before. So just create an account on Google Classroom, then join your classroom. So yours is just to join, and you paste the link here, and that's it. Straightforward. Okay, apart from Google Classroom, so I want to just move straight to some extensions we'll be using for VS Code to make our job easier. So earlier I told us to install VS Code. So this is my editor of VS Code. So let me close this. Sorry. So when you install VS Code, you might have this screen, or you might have a welcome screen, but whatever you have, you can just, on this your left hand side, this icon that looks like boxes, just click on it. That's for extensions, and I want to just install four extensions. So the first one is Waka Time. So basically what is, I already have it installed here. What this extension does is to help you track the amount of code you write in a day, or in a week, or in a month, the language you're writing, the time in a day you wrote it, how long, everything about relating to your code. It helps you to track all this. Sorry, this is open. It helps you to track all this, and I love this extension because it makes me understand if I've actually done anything for the past how many days, and I would have to improve on myself. So also Bootstrap snippets, because we'll be talking about Bootstrap later on. Sorry, Bootstrap snippet. So I have it already. So you have this Bootstrap 4, Font Awesome 4, Font Awesome 5, free and pro snippet. So this would help us write code easily, but there's no need to disturb ourselves too much on that. Then the third one we'll be using is GitLens. So the first one, GitLens by Eric Amodio. So this particular one, GitLens, Git Supercharged. So this is the one I'll be using for this tutorial. Then the last one is Prettier, sorry. Last one is Prettier, and this would help us to, whenever we save our document, it arranges everything back for us, so we don't have to be using the normal formatter in VS Code to do that every time. So basically that's all the extension I'll be installing for VS Code. So once you are done with that, you can go back to your Chrome browser or Edge. If you're using Chrome, Edge, or I think Firefox, it should still work. So there are some extensions to install on my Chrome browser, because it helps me to make my work faster, and I will tell you the reason why I'm installing this extension as we go on. So the first one is Wapalizer. So what I will just do is Wapalizer, just search for Wapalizer on Google. So I think that's the first one, Wapalizer. and I can just click on, I see there's a result here, Wapalaiza Google Chrome. So if I click on that, so I have this Wapalaiza. It's basically an extension that tells me what they use to build other websites. So let me install this and show you an example. Add extension. So it's downloading. Okay, yeah, it's downloading down here. Okay, it has been downloaded. So once it downloads, you would see it up here. So let me show you how that works. So if I come back to CyberSquad's website and I just refresh, yeah, it was loaded. So if I click here, I would see what was used to build this website. So first of all, I'll see that they use the CMS called WordPress, and it's using a CDN, that's Content Delivery Network, Cloudflare. For analytics, I'm using Google Analytics. For the database, I'm using MySQL. For blogs, WordPress, Tag Manager, Google Tag Manager. And all this information is given to us. Like, why I tend to use this extension a lot is the fact that sometimes your clients might be like, okay, I want to develop this type of website, and maybe they used WordPress to develop a website, or maybe they just wrote normal code, or whatever technology that was used to build that website. You can easily know how you go about creating yours, so you don't have to just be wondering what it is to create the website. Because if you try to inspect code, it might take a long time before you find out everything that was used to create the website. So this extension makes it simpler to do that. So the next extension we'll be installing is CSS Viewer. So I can just go click on a Chrome Web Store here and search for CSS Viewer. So that's the first result. So I'm not finding it here and I don't know why. So let me just do CSS Viewer here. Okay, this is it. I guess there wasn't supposed to be space between it. So sorry about my issues with English. So this is the extension CSS Viewer. Let me install and show you how it works. So add extension. So that's been installed and I can close this. So I want to just refresh back again here. Now this extension helps us to see every CSS relating to each element you select on. So let me click on CSS Viewer, and if I hover over this Let's Learn, you see the font family, everything relating to the fonts, the color and background, the box, the positioning, the effect, every major thing in CSS relating to that element. So in case you want to do something that is on our website, you just want to copy it and you just understand that, okay, this is what they use for the CSS, and you can create yours from that. So you don't have to stress yourself. And that's what CSS Viewer does. So another cool one is called What Font. So let me try to search again and I hope I get it right this time around. What Font. Okay. This should be it. So add to Chrome. I'm not certain. Let me confirm first. I think this is it. So okay, that's been added. So if I click on, so okay, so let me refresh first. Hold on. So if I click on What Font, if I hover, so you can see this is like a simplified version of the CSS Viewer. This one just tells me only the font that was used in any part of the website. So for the menu here, it was sans serif that was used. For this header is Hind. So it tells me just for the font that is on that particular page. So it helps you a lot, because there are sometimes you'd want to copy what another website has done and you don't want to start inspecting elements to do that. So this is an easy way to do that. So I can do exit rich font. So another extension I use for my Chrome is called Site Palette. Yeah. So this is the first one. So we have Site Palette. And if I add to Chrome, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to install the second one while we wait for this Colorzilla. I think it's Zilla 2L. I know it's taking too long to load. Let me open it up and do Colorzilla. Reload. Network speed is okay. I don't know why it's having issues. Let me save myself the stress and just try it again. So Site Palette. This is happening again. Sorry, let me pause and try to fix this again. Okay, sorry, fixed again. So we just click on Site Palette. I'm gonna close this and add to Chrome. So Site Palette has been added. So let's see what it does. So let me refresh again and click on Site Palette. So basically what it did was to get the major colors that were used on the website, and I can just easily copy them from here and use it in my design or on my website, wherever I want to use it. So this saves us stress of trying to find the exact color that they used on this particular website. So you don't have to stress yourself on that. You can easily do this, and this would also even help graphics designers and any other person using the internet to build something. So, and at some point you might be working with a graphics designer in this certain color, the graphics designer, there might be this confusion. So this would definitely help you to do that. And the last extension will be Colorzilla. Yeah, I think this, yeah. So this is it, Colorzilla. And extension. So installed, refresh again. So if I click on the Colorzilla extension, so I can actually select any element and get the exact color that was used at that place. So this, when you just hover, and so once you click on it, it copies the element and it moves off. So I can go ahead and paste it anywhere I want. So I can, this is the exact color. So that color that we selected, this is it, the exact shade. So if you look closely, this looks like this. So Colorzilla is like the simplified version of Site Palette, and WordFont is the simplified version of CSS Viewer. So it depends on however you want to do that, but just understand that we'll be using all this throughout the course of the program. And have a nice day. And if you have if you have any question, you can drop it down. And if you have any other suggestion, also drop it in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to all that and fix that for the next video. Also, I'll be creating my setup for my mobile device, because I noticed that some of the us don't have a laptop for now, and would want to continue with this program. So let's not. There's going to be a mobile setup for this particular video. So I would show you what I installed on my mobile device, so we can all move on together. Thank you very much and have a nice day.